I know I haven't filmed in such a long time, but this is my first video for 2020 and I've decided to incorporate all my favorite high-end makeup brands that I have been using since last year, and I'm excited to share that with you. I will also film another video including all my drugstore favorite, but for the meantime I do want to play around my high-end makeup favorites. So if you guys want to see everything that I'm going to be using, just stay tuned and let's just get started. So before anything else, I have been obsessed with this moisturizer, this duo. It's not high-end. You can definitely purchase this in Amazon or eBay. I know it's kind of scary to purchase something on eBay. Luckily I did get lucky and it was the real thing. And this was the Jeju aloe ice. This is what I use before I put makeup on, and during the nighttime I use the blue container one. This is the same brand, but this one is a little bit more creamier. I'm actually as you can tell, I'm almost done with this, so I need to purchase another one. I think I did purchase another one, so it's not expensive at all, but this, I swear by these two products right here, it's so good. You can see my skin actually gotten better. It helps like smooth out my face, eliminates like dark spot, or not dark spot, like my pimple spot or all that, and then just my texture itself became smoother and it gives me that glass skin effect. I don't know if you can see, but I just used this for today before I put on my makeup. And as many as you know, I do have a lot of pore issue, especially on my nose area and then like around my cheek and just like the center of my face really. So for that I've actually been using this. It's the Too Faced Prime Pore-less Skin Smoothing Face Primer. It's really good. The texture is a little bit thicker. You don't need a lot, so let me just show you how much I need. You just literally need this much to put just in the center of your face. So I just focus this on my nose, really, because that's where my problem area is. And I'm just gonna drag this around my cheek and really in my forehead. Not really my full forehead, but like on top of like my nose bridge. It's gonna wait at least 1 minute for everything to absorb. Alright, so moving on to my favorite part is the foundation. This is my holy grail, the Este Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation. I have been using this for years and I loved it. This is my to-go-to if I'm going somewhere and I want my makeup to stay. This is that product that you can just rely on because this thing is awesome. So I do get a little bit high maintenance on this foundation. I would first use just a foundation brush. This is a Tarte foundation brush, and I will just, normally this is how I put my foundation. I will just go ahead and dot all over and then use the brush. This foundation is very high coverage. It is a full coverage and it's matte. So make sure you moisturize your face, because if you don't, it tends to dry up your skin if you don't moisturize before using this. Like you can just tell it really just reduced the redness in my skin, because I do have a lot of redness as well. So I use a yellow undertone foundation to remove the redness out of my skin, so I contrast the red. Alright, so again, I did say that I get high maintenance on that foundation, so I'm gonna use a Dom sponge to go over my face, just to remove any like brush streaks that has been left in my face. So this is just from like TJ Maxx. It's not high end, but it feels like high end because it's really good. It's by Urban Studio if I'm not mistaken. Alright. Moving on to concealer, I finally purchased the Tarte Shape Tape. I know a lot of people use this and I just had not been using it just because of the price range, and now that I was able to save up some money, I was able to buy it and it's really good. I've been using it since last year and yeah, I loved it. So this is definitely one of my favorite high-end concealer. So I'm just gonna focus underneath my eye. You don't need a lot for this product, especially if you don't have dark circle. I have a little bit of dark circle, but not like crazy, so I'm just gonna put it in the high points of my face just to highlight that area. And one more thing that I've noticed about this concealer is that you have to work fast because it does dry up really quick. That sometimes I feel like it's harder to blend it when it starts to like get really dry. So just this side note when you use this concealer, just to work faster. So next step, we're just gonna set that concealer. So I'm using this Too Faced Cocoa Contour Chisel to Perfection palette. I'm just gonna take the lightest shade right here and just go around my eye, like where I put the concealer. I'm just gonna use my Tarte brush. I've been using this for like ages now, and if you watch my old video, I use this all the time. It's like the perfect flat brush to just go underneath your eye. So we're just gonna focus where you put your concealer, and you just dab it. You don't necessarily do it in this motion. Make sure you just tap it so that you don't move the products. Again, I don't necessarily bake because I don't have oily skin like that, especially in this area. I feel I try to bake, and what I've noticed that in the end of the day, I am so cakey, which is a big no-no for me. Just make sure you just tap it and just compact this product just to set that concealer. Not too much powder or else you're gonna have cakiness. And all over my face, I do love to use the Studio MAC Fix face powder. This is in the shade of NC35. It's a bit darker than my actual complexion. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It's a little bit more yellowish, but I feel like it complements the foundation, especially if you use a foundation that is a little bit lighter than your complexion, or than your shade. I keep saying complexion, lighter than your shade. So I feel like it just kind of complements it and kind of balance it out. So this, I just focus all over my face, not necessarily where I put the powder. The powder that I use underneath is much lighter than this powder, so just to set everything up. Alright, so to bronze, I have been obsessed with this product, which is the Too Faced Sweetie Pie. It is so cute. The shade is, I think this is just one shade. It says Radiant Matte Bronzer infused with peach and sweet fig cream. So this is what it looked like. At first I was kind of intimidated by it just because there's like different colors in it, but it works really well. It's kind of like magic because when you swirl your brush on it, make sure you remove the area, the axis, remove the axis of the product and just put it on your face. It just gives you such a nice bronzy face, which is kind of like a magic, because I would think because of the peach or like the redness, it looked like a blush to me really, but once you put it in your face, it gives you this amazing bronze effect. It's not too like intense. The thing about like bronzer that is very high pigmented is kind of like, I find it hard to blend because it goes onto my face very like pigmented. So this is just perfect because you can build the color. And to contour, I am gonna go back to this palette right here. I am just gonna grab the darker shade, which is I think I'm gonna grab the Deep Mocha right here, and we will just focus this to contour and just kind of like slice my face. If you want your face to be a little bit smaller, like I want my face to be a little bit smaller, so we're just gonna focus it on there. Do you see it? This is the contour part, and this doesn't have it. Just gonna do the other side. Oh, and the brush that I'm using is also from Real Technique, and this is just a contour brush, which is perfect because it's rounded. It's just focusing in this area, and you're just gonna type it in your face very lightly and going in a circular motion. Make sure everything is blended. Nothing like you don't want to have just like a brown line on your cheek. You make sure it's blended so that it's seamless and nobody noticed that you're doing it, even though they know that you're doing it. but you get the idea, right? It's not like too harsh. So we're also gonna take this underneath my, or I'm gonna take this in my chin to get rid of that double chin right here, since, you know, we're not perfect. So this is how you deceive the world. It's by contour. People had told me, oh, why do you have such a sharp face? I'm like, it's contour. So we're gonna also put it right here. Contour is such an essential for me. Sometimes when I on a run or on a rush, I don't put a lot of makeup, but I make sure I have some contour on, just because, I don't know, like, it really shapes up your face. So this is very important to me. Using the same brush, we're gonna dip into medium mocha, and we're just gonna get a little bit. So you're gonna just pinch your brush like this, so it look like that, and then you take the product, tap the excess, and then you're gonna put it on your nose. You can use another brush, like an angle brush, but if you don't have that handy in a rush, you can do this technique right here. Moving on to blush, I'm going to use the Too Faced Love Flush Justify My Love. I think that's the name of the shade. This is what it look like. It's very cute, and it has a nice mirror, and the shade is very pink and pretty. I know it's intimidating because it's really pink, but once you put it in your face, it's actually very subtle. So we're just gonna use another Tarte brush, which is my favorite. I'm just gonna dip into this product, remove the excess, and smile, and then just focus this on your cheek, which is not necessarily like, sometimes I like to go all over my face, but this time I'm just gonna focus it right here, just the high points of my cheek, to kind of have that rosy cheek effect. Alright, so moving on to highlighter. I am very excited because I have been using this product for quite a while now, and I am so obsessed with it. It's the Glow. I think it's from Glamglow. Luckily I found this on TJ Maxx, and girl, it is so good. When you see this in the store, get it because it's really good. So I have these 3 shades right here. I normally just use all of them, but mostly this 2 color. So I'm just gonna grab it with this tiny brush right here, and I'm just gonna highlight my face right now. It's very subtle, and like it gives you that wet look. I love this. It's good for like everyday makeup look. So I'm just gonna put this on my cheek, or not really my cheek, like my high points. You see that glow? And I'm just gonna use my finger and put this on top of my nose, my cupid's bow, and just on my bridge, and I'm glowing. Alright, now that the face makeup is done, I will move on doing my brows, and I'm going to use my ABH Dip Brow Pomade. I have been using this for years now, and I love it. The drugstore dupe for this would be the Maybelline Dip Brow. That was really good. So in my next video for my drugstore favorite, you will see it there, so stay tuned for that one. But as you can tell, I've been using this product for a long time. I'm running out. I definitely need a refill. But I'm just gonna use angle brush or a brow brush and just get the product. You don't need a lot. I am going to just grab my fancy mirror right here and just draw my brow. Again, you always start like in the middle of your brow and never in here, just because you don't want to have that box look. And whatever product is left, we're just gonna brush it with this spoolie. Make sure everything is blended. Alright, I'm going to work on my outer brow and I'll be right back. Alright, so the brows are on. I just need to clean up the edges. So with that, I'm just going to use my Tarte shape again. And I'm just going to get a concealer brush. This is from Avon, but you can use any concealer brush. We're just going to clean up the edges or kind of like define my brows even more. So we're just going to fast forward on this and I'll be right back. Alright, so I clean up my brows. As you can tell, it makes such a huge difference if you clean up your brows. It makes it more sharper and just more cleaner and more precise and defined. I love it. Alright, so moving on to one of my favorite part, which is eyeshadow. I'm so excited because I have been wanting this eyeshadow for a long time, and this brand is known to have such a good reputation about pigmentation, just quality, and just a full experience. It is a little bit pricier, but again, this is one thing I bought during Christmas when I get my bonus. I was like, I'm definitely get this palette. Before we introduce that palette, I will put a base on my eyes using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I bought this in Ulta. When you bought, sorry, there's a promotion when you buy the all-nighter, you can have this for free for like, I think, or not this big, that's the small one, for like $25, and this includes this, and this lasts you for a while. So we're just gonna go ahead and put this on my eyelid. This is really good because it really helps your eyeshadow stay all night, like no joke. So we're just gonna do that and just kind of rub this with my finger. It doesn't really like have a color, it's kind of like transparent. The purpose is just for it to, you know, really just to base up your eye. But before anything else, I'm gonna dip into this. It's not high-end, but it looked very high-end. This is the BH Cosmetic Glamglow palette. I love this because it has everything matte and all like the basic nude that you would need. So I'm actually just gonna use maybe I'm just gonna use this right here and this just to set my base up, because I feel like the palette that I'm gonna be using doesn't have this color. So we're just gonna do that very quickly. So again, we're just gonna dip into this color, this 2 color right here, just to kind of set that base. Now that it is set, moving on to this eyeshadow palette. I'm talking about high-end glamour, just like I feel kind of rich that I have this kind of palette. And it's the Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona, you can see that right here. Natasha Denona, it's the Sunrise palette. This is the shade range, and guys, I mean, the shade range of this eyeshadow speaks high-end, and I just it's so beautiful. And just the experience itself, like when you play around it, when I went to Sephora and just play around the shimmer and stuff, it was just so insanely good. Like, it's like butter. It's butter when you put it in your eye. And I was just very excited that when I purchased it, I just couldn't wait to use it. So without any further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with this eyeshadow. Picking up the Jaclyn Hill Morphe brush. This is in JH30. We are just gonna dip into Morning. I'm not really sure what kind of eye look I'm aiming for, but with this palette though, like no matter what color you put in, it ends up looking amazing. So dipping my brushes to Morning, I will just put this acting like a, what do you call it, a transition shade right here. It just blends so beautifully. Like even with just the transition shade, you can tell that there's no harshness on this color. The pigmentation is there. It's not much fallout as long as you tap into the pan and get rid of the excess. And you just put this all over your lid. Getting another brush. This is the Morphe by Jaclyn Hill. It's the HD33 brush. We're gonna dip into I don't know what kind of look I'm aiming for. I think I'm gonna go in with, I want to use majority of the matte shade and just build it up just to show you guys the color, how they blend perfectly together. So I'm gonna dip into Morgan, and lower than the transition shade, I'm just gently applying it towards the outer part of my eye, kind of brushing it out. And then just gently going in right here. think I'm gonna sunrise palette. I'm kind of thinking like sunrise kind of like makeup look. So we're just gonna build this color in. It is so pretty. Again, just make sure you blend that perfectly, which this shadow, you don't need a lot of blending, or like you don't need a lot of power to blend because they just blend so perfectly together. A little bit more. Okay, getting another brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe JH32. It's a little bit more pointier right here. And I'm gonna dip into Clove right here. And we're gonna build that color up. Alright, so that's down. I feel like I want to make it deeper, but I don't have, I just wish it has a darker shade in this palette. So with that said, I'm gonna go back to this BH Cosmetic. I'm just gonna pick up one darker color just to kind of build up the outer corner of my eye. So I think I'm gonna pick this color up. It doesn't have any shade name, but I'm gonna pick up this color right here, which is like a darker shade. And I'm just gonna pick up this brush, the Defined Concealer brush, and I'm just gonna poke it just a little bit just to define this outer corner to give you that smoky effect. So you're just gonna tap and kind of build. Yeah, I wish that palette has like a darker shade, like a brown deep shade. But other than that, I love it. Gonna blend this out. Get rid of the harsh line. And then kind of drag that darker shade towards, you know, in the middle and kind of like in your inner corner right here. Right here. There you go. And then going back to Natasha Denona palette, I will pick up this unique color, which is Aster. That's the name of it, Aster, right here. Yep, I'm gonna pick this color shade up. I will get another brush. I'm gonna get a flat brush. I'm just gonna spray it. I'm just gonna get it wet right here. Just gonna wet it with this. I guess it doesn't matter what you wet it with. And then pick that color up right here. So pretty. Sorry. There you go. Oh gosh, this is like purpley lavender. Oh, it's so pretty. Do you guys see this? I'm gonna go in closer to the camera so they can see that shimmer. I want to know how is this using my finger. Let me see if the color will be like, oh yeah, it intensifies it. So you know what? Actually use your finger. If you want, you can use the brush, especially getting into like the corner right here. But if you just want to build that shine color, definitely use your finger. And I think majority of Natasha Denona's tutorial on her Instagram, she used her finger when she does someone's eye makeup. I love it! Sorry, I'm like going crazy here. So that's what the eye makeup look like on the other side. I'm gonna work on the outer eye and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're finished with the upper area of my eye. I'm now going to work on my lower eye. So we're just gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm just gonna pick up on a smaller brush. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH39. It's a little bit pointier brush. We're gonna dip into Clove. Again, always tap the axis. And we're just gonna put this underneath my eye. Not all the way through, just to kind of like line my eye a little bit, or smoke my under eye, I should say. The same brush, we're gonna dip into Morgan and Morning, just to blend that out and smoke it out together. It's important that you do this so that whatever's in here will match underneath. And then I will pick up another small brush, if I found one. Yep, I do. This is the Jaclyn Hill JH42. It's a little bit tinier flat brush right here. We're gonna pick up Este, that shimmer shade again, that purpley shimmer shade. We're gonna pick that up. This we're gonna put in our inner corner, like right here. I think I should wet this brush. Let me wet this brush, because I feel like that shimmer shade is pretty, but it goes in like very light in the eye unless you wet it. That's when you really appreciate the shimmer. So we're just gonna put it right there. Wait, I feel like I mixed that with different color. Alright, and then I kind of want some shimmer in the inner corner, so we're gonna find another shade here. I think I should go in with Laurel right here. Laurel. Right here, okay? Pick up the same brush and just dip that in there. And just focus this on the inner corner of our eye. Oh yeah, definitely makes a huge difference. So I'm just going to line my eyes. I will use some mascara. I will use the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. It's a waterproof. And then for eyeliner, I'm gonna use my Milani Stay Put eyeliner. I love this so much. I wear contact lenses on a daily basis because I do have a bad eye grade. So this helps a lot. Even if I wear eyeliner, it doesn't really bother my eye, my contact lenses, and it's just amazing. And for my lashes, I'm gonna use the Kala 3D Mink. I got this from TJ Maxx. It's for like $4. So I will work on all of that and I will be right back to finish off the face. Alright, that was such a struggle, but I was able to get it all in there. The eyelashes is one of my challenging things. They're just so difficult to put with the type of eye that I have. So moving on to the lip, we're just gonna line it with my MAC lip liner in this shade Soar. And we're just gonna line it up. And then for lips, I have been loving this Huda Liquid Matte lipstick. It's in the shade Icon. Love the formula on this lipstick because it's matte but it's not drying. So I love it and it goes in very, very smoothly. So I'm gonna put some shine in my lips, so I'm just gonna use a lip gloss. This is from Artistry. I think it's an Amway product. This was I purchased this from my friend that sells it, and the shade of this is Confetti. We're just gonna put that in on top of that lipstick just to kind of have some gloss going on, some shimmering gloss right here. And to set everything up, of course, we're gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Spray and just set all this makeup up. Okay guys, so here's the final look. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Again, the video is just focusing mostly on high-end makeup products that I do own and been enjoying a lot. I will link everything down in the description box so you can check it out for yourself, okay? And I will also try to shoot another video focusing on drugstore makeup brand, okay? So stay tuned for that. And with that said, if you like this video, give me a huge thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. And make sure to click that notification button so that you can get notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Mwah. Bye!